Desire and intention and has always been to have a good relationship with Christine. Maybe this is kind of laying a foundation for future interaction, so that it's positive.
It's awkward that Robyn's here. Of course, we're not on the best of terms. It's not even about me at all.
I mean, listen, it's just interesting how ROBYN is always going to stay very optimistic. Some people may say stay delusional, but I'm just going to use the word optimistic that she could ever have a relationship with Christine. I mean, listen, if I was ROBYN, I'd probably be trying to make a relationship with Janelle more than I would be with Christine, because Christine, well, she's already made her mind up that she just doesn't want to know you. But at the same time, though, it is good to see the mums, being here at a time for KODY when obviously she's giving birth. Despite the fact that, from my understanding, KODY is now no longer speaking to ROBYN. I mean, honestly, this is freaking crazy.
Hoping that my kids would have a great relationship with other moms. It's great that KODY has a great relationship with ROBYN. It's what I've always wanted for my kids.
I've heard that Meri's not going to be spending Thanksgiving with KODY and ROBYN, which kind of surprised me. And I wondered who she was going to be spending it with. I hope somebody.
Really plan on telling anybody about mine and KODY's decision. I don't feel like it's necessary for me to go make a big announcement about it.
To be fair, I'm just quite confused why Janelle even cares, Janelle should just focus on just what she's got to do for herself, because right now, I mean, listen, her and Meri are kind of like in the same position. They're both no longer with KODY, and they're both out here just doing something, yeah.
My finger of blame has come out. Dad, you were never at my house. I'm sorry, I had 4 wives. I was at your house, though, because the other wife was complaining that I was at your house.
I mean, so what does that mean, KODY? That's no excuse. You chose to have 4 wives, okay? And you chose to have multiple kids with the wives. So it's going to be naturally normal if some of your kids, or if not most of your kids, are going to have a bit of a abandonment issue with you at times. And all you've got to do is just have a conversation with them. You may need to have it more than you need to, but just have that conversation every single time to give them the reassurance that they seek. And they will always understand, especially once they get older, they will understand even more. But if you're going to keep playing ghost to your kids, this is the result. But hey, KODY knows best, right?
Like, just talking to kids as much as you can. Like I just don't know why you're not reaching out to them more.
You saw how they were at the wedding. I recently went to a family wedding. The whole family was there. There was so much animosity from some of my family.
And really, Maddie doesn't have any contact with him. She is very protective of her children. KODY has not been there since Evie was born, and Evie's 3.5.
Can you imagine, you have kids or a kid, and your mom or dad or whatever hasn't seen your child for the first 3 years, 3.5 years of your child being born. Like, what does KODY expect? Like, and the crazy thing about it is the excuses that he uses. I mean, just have a listen.
And it's unrealistic expectation for grandparents to be in their grandchildren's lives all the time, especially if you move your children to an entirely different coast, purposefully.
All right, cool, I get it. Your daughter, okay, she has moved to another coast. I get it. And of course, you have your own life where you are flexible. I completely get it. But there is something called a phone call. Hell, in today's world, there's something called FaceTime. But hell, it's been 3 years. You're telling me out of the 3 years you haven't been there once? You could at least been there a few times, even if it was at least just 1 or 2 times, within that space of 3 years. But then and then when you're not seeing them, you're still having that conversation on the phone or something. That is better than nothing. For anybody that watches flipping 90 Day Fiancé, I mean, if you remember, we had Colby and Emily, and Colby was unable to be there for his child when the child was born. So he missed, a big portion of the first year, I think it was, or maybe first 2. But he was on FaceTime every day having a conversation with his wife and with his child. You know what I mean? Something. KODY, you're doing nothing. Stop making excuses.
Leaving me out of their lives to punish me for a crime I did not commit. Division. Our family was killed by gossip.
KODY has this narrative about Madison where she's such the gossip, but he is as big of a gossip. He'd always say,
I will reach out to, I will love those children who will allow me to do it.
I mean, listen, he will love those children that will allow him to do it. I mean, listen, you can love your children regardless of whether they want you to do it or not. That's your responsibility, is it not? I mean, at the end of the day, whether your children decide to want to make contact with you or to respond to you, that is obviously the traits that they have, but it doesn't mean that you selectively love the ones that are choosing to allow in their lives. Now, of course, he may easily mean that you listen, I will love the children that will actually insert themselves in my life. As in, like, actually love them physically. Fair enough. But either way, though, love your kids no matter what. And, you should definitely keep trying. But then again, at the same time, I'm unsure what bridges he has burnt with every single child that he has burnt with, apart from neglection, you know, and apart from favoritism. You know, I'm pretty sure there's other things as well that we've never seen on camera, but hey, this is what happens when you have multiple children.
Who has shut me out is blaming me for what happened, or you, which is a bunch of crap.
That's
And
just
I don't need to sit
misguided.
down with them and have to defend you. With
Have you
Madison.
been trying to communicate with them?
Gabriel, yes, I have. I'm here with a broken heart over these people who have shut me out, that aren't talking to me. Father, I mean, I have not betrayed these kids.
I just know how much.
I mean, listen, it's interesting how he says he has not betrayed his kids, but at the same time, have you had a conversation with your kids to find out what the actual issue is? Because obviously the issue that's going to be there isn't going to be the one that's always necessarily just on the surface. The issue that's going to be there is also going to be something else you're going to find out from actually having a conversation with them by getting close to them again, and then they can finally open up to what has really been beating them up. And I'm pretty sure every child probably has similar issues with you, but they also have their own individual issues as well. He cannot sit here and talk about betrayal or whatever the nonsense he's saying, because that's not good enough. Like, this is appalling.
I needed my dad. Honey, yes, your kids need you. They need you in their life.
I'm so angry about what has happened that if I talk to my kids, I'm worried that they'll trigger me with an accusation.
That is going to be one of the most wildest things I've ever heard in my life. He's worried that his kids will trigger him with an accusation. Can somebody make sense of that, please? I mean, listen, at the end of the day, your kids, and sometimes even your partners, you know, sometimes they're going to do things unintentionally or intentionally to trigger you because they want an answer. In this situation, if your kids say certain things to trigger you, it's not to necessarily hurt you because they want to hurt you. It's more probably because they want you to feel their pain, but also at the same time because they want to have answers as well. So the question is this: is he avoiding seeing his kids because he doesn't want to answer those hard-hitting questions, or is he avoiding seeing them because he knows that they're going to say certain things to purposely annoy him? Either way, I believe that they are in the position to do that because they don't feel loved by you. They don't feel cared by you. They don't feel relevant by you. They don't feel important by you. They feel like they are second to ROBYN and also second to the kids you've had with ROBYN. Hell, they probably feel second to the kids that ROBYN has had before, you know, before you was even with her. But hey, KODY is only going to do what KODY sees or feels is best. And the crazy thing about it is that he knows the choices that he makes aren't even the best ones. And that's the most wildest thing about it. Sometimes when he says certain things, there's a little bit of accountability behind it where he understands, but then his stubbornness, his ego gets in the way and says, yeah, but these kids walked away from me, so I am not going to put in the effort that they will not give me back. And that is absolutely crazy. I mean, yo, KODY, why did you have kids in the first place, and why did you have 4 wives in the first place? Because boy, the way you're behaving right now is not adding up. But nonetheless though, until next week, let me know what you're thinking. Peace.